Let me ask you this: how did you stumble upon this in 2011? Like, how did this happen?
I'm a curious guy that knows that if you're in the real estate business, you're actually in the marketing business. So what worked in 2011 doesn't, it's ever changing, right? And me always wanting to be finding the perfect lead. I always have this, life is easy when the timing is perfect. And so you had said kind of my story earlier about in 2011, we had bought 66 houses in that year. And I said, what is a generic, stereotypical story about these people? What is the similarity between all of these people? And we came up with this story that I still use to this day. Dad passed away 8 years ago. Mom's been piddling around the house doing the best she can. And guess what? She fell again. It's you don't take a healthy mom to senior living. She'd tell me, get the hell out of here if I told my mom we're going to senior living this weekend, right? She would say, no way. What happens is mom fell again. She had a hip surgery. She goes to rehab for 3 weeks, and rehab goes, hey, sons of mom, she can't move back home. She needs 24-hour care. And now if me and you were brothers, we're like, what? It's like thrust upon us. And so it's like this scramble, crisis mode, crazy logistics. And so it's more than just, do we want to buy the house? Yeah, of course we want to buy the house, but you are there as a solution for this problem because I always say sometimes I see like the weight get lifted off the adult children's shoulders because they are scrambling to figure this out. And we're throwing life vests to drowning people.
It's so true, man. And, as I've gotten more, in years with doing this business, it's really truly about helping people. And, we do stuff where we help people in tax delinquency. We help people with this same strategy that you are. You're obviously doing a lot more than we are. But it's like, at the end of the day, are you helping somebody? And in this particular case, you're truly helping somebody. Because if listeners that are on right now, if you don't understand, with Medicaid, Medicare, if mom has this house and it's sitting there, they're not going to qualify. They need to have those funds gone within a certain period of time in order for them to qualify for any type of help from Medicaid and Medicare. It's kind of goofy, but that's what happens. Because if they realize, oh, well, Joanne's got this house free and clear, and according to the tax assessor, it's worth $200,000. Well, you need to sell that house before we're going to help you out, and all of the funds have to be gone before we even consider helping you.
That's right.
It's crazy with how that happens, but how do you approach these senior living facilities?
Well, if you think you're just going to walk right in and put your hand out and start talking to people, you're going to get kicked out on your ass because they're super busy. They're putting out 140 fires a day of 140 families that they're helping. There's ways to connect with them that I teach that are definitely not just walking in and trying to figure it out on the fly. These are very serious companies. They're very insulated. Yeah. The senior living community is. You as investors, even that word investor looks at as a negative word on the surface for them. So I teach you how to show them what your value is and why. And as soon as you unlock that, then you become their best friend because you help them with their big problems. And so you had talked about earlier this house being worth $200,000 and now they can't apply, or they don't qualify for Medicaid. The strategy that I talk about is that senior living is it's a very American problem. And what I mean by that is in China and India, there aren't senior living communities. It's very much an American thing for us to put our seniors into senior living. And the reason why I bring that up is that they want you to be destitute before Medicaid kicks in, right? And so when Americans, these adult children bring mom, and when I say adult children, we're talking about 60-year-olds helping 80-year-olds, right? So these adult children are in their 60s. There's a lot of guilt of, we can't take care of mom anymore. She's going to go into a community, right? Yeah. There's guilt there. So what do we do as Americans to get rid of that guilt? We put mom in the most expensive place that we can find, right? And so in Missouri, the average there's private pay and then there's Medicaid communities, Jason, right? There's two different ones.
Right.
And they're very, very different.
Very different.
The guilt side of us, we want to put mom in the best, right? So if they sell the house right away and they can pay 1 year of private pay, a lot of these communities will let mom stay there post 1 year after that 200 grand is gone and live out the rest of her days in that better community. So you better believe what we do is super important for the family and the mom to get the best care, even if it's just to make themselves feel better that they put mom in the most expensive one.
Right.
So that's a big deal. I mean, to do that. That house, some Americans have a lot of money, but most Americans don't, and all their equity is tied up in that house.